Hey everyone, this is Jen. I hope everybody's good. Thank you for being here. I'm here with an energy update and a few subjects that I want to talk about. First of all, I wanted to talk about the current energies. It's chaos, so that's all I'm going to say about it. I think it's just chaos. It was said before, I said it in my previous videos. Um, and by many others as well, this energy is here to help us raise our consciousness. And it's happening. And a lot of people, a lot of channelers and readers have been talking about the event. Know that it's happening. It wasn't meant to be something specific on a specific date, specific time. It happens on an individual level depending where you're at in your progress. So some of you may be feeling totally different at this time. Know that it's the event. The planet, the Gaia, Earth, has changed vibrations, and we react to that because we live on the planet. As we ground ourselves to the planet, we feel the new vibrations coming in, and then we have to integrate that into our bodies, and that's what's going on right now. So there's chaos pretty much everywhere. People are grumpy, people are in a bad mood, they have bad attitudes, they snap quickly, they're basically triggered. That's what's happening. They are triggered by pretty much everything, and they may lash out. So just be aware of this. Stand in compassion for these people. I know I have been going through a few things that weren't that um, great. Harmony was not present in a lot of situations that I've been through in the past few weeks, and this is how it is right now. People are being pushed to awaken further and to rise their consciousness and to realize that there is more than what we can see with our eyes. Um, so it's pushing people to basically clean their lives, their thoughts, their patterns, their ego. There is no more space for ego or to operate from the mind. And that's another subject I want to talk about, and it's fantastic. I'm so happy I found a neuroscientist that was able to prove the existence of the soul. And his name is Mario Beauregard, and he's right here 20 minutes away from me, close to Montreal in Canada. And this guy is a PhD, a neuroscientist, and he's been studying how the soul interacts with the brain, and it's not the other way around. It really is the soul interacting with the brain. We do not control the brain. Our job is to integrate that soul. So whenever we hear, we are currently integrating our higher selves. That's what it means. It's allowing the space for our mind, our brain, and our body to access the soul, consciousness, wisdom, and knowledge. To live by it on a day-to-day basis. The whole point of this life, whether you're aware or not, whether you're on a spiritual path or not awakened yet, is to integrate that soul into our daily lives. So we are reacting to astrological events. We are reacting to a whole bunch of things. Real self-mastery is knowing how to deal with those events, is knowing how to react when someone is coming at us, being triggered for something we have nothing to do with. Our reaction is really important because the butterfly effect is real. The way we react to these people, if we're standing in compassion, well, we create good karma. If we reply with the same kind of attitude that they're giving us, we create negative karma. It's that simple. Well, no, I should not say it this way. It's not that simple. It's hard because all our lives we've been taught to use our mind and our ego. And now it's like, no, no, this is wrong. You need to operate from the heart. So it's hard. And sometimes it's hard when someone is lashing out at us. It's hard to be patient, to be loving, to be understanding and in compassion. But if you realize your own internal process and patterns, and you're able to say, okay, this person is just triggered. It has nothing to do with me. If anyone has read the Wisdom Toltec, is that it? No, the 4 Agreement. I'm sorry. I was trying to I was mixed between my French and my English here. I'm sorry. If you've read the 4 Agreements, one of them is never take anything personally, because that person standing in front of you is not doing this towards you. She's lashing out, or he is lashing out because they're hurt inside. If you're a light worker, that's your job, is to intervene right there, to do an intervention and to just stand in your heart and accept that, transform that, help that person move past that. The current energies are helping us going through a form of rebirth process. Everything is going to change. Even if you've been spiritually awakened for a long time, you're still going to feel those changes. And that was all part of the event. Those new vibrations and energies that came into our lives are manifesting in the physical. The thing to do is to trust yourself. Trust your own intuition and guidance. Do not rely on outside sources for that. Follow your guidance. Synchronicities are all over the place. The way I found this neuroscientist was a pure synchronicity. I was watching the Consciousness Summit from Paris, France, the past weekend, and they mentioned his name. And as soon as I heard his name, without knowing what he did, I knew he was the guy I needed to study next. And I'm so glad I found this neuroscientist, because he's basically saying there's 2 ways of thinking, 2 schools of thoughts, or 2 kind of people, basically. And he's talking about this scientific point of view, of course. There's the people who think everything is material based, and the ones who think that there's a spiritual aspect to our existence. And he was able to prove through research in his own labs. He studied a bunch of nuns from Montreal for years, because all they do, these nuns, is contemplate and meditate all day long. So basically going through spiritual experiences all day long. And he was able to prove that the soul is really interacting with our brain, and the commands are coming from the soul, not the brain. So being spiritually awakened is all about allowing that knowledge and wisdom, like I said, to reach our consciousness, to expand on higher levels at all times, on a daily basis, every day. This thing never stops. We never stop growing. In terms of the energies, a lot of people may have felt a huge shift around Easter. There was the full moon on Easter Eve on the 31st of March. Yes, correct. I was just checking. And it started switching right there. Now this weekend we're going to have a new moon, so new things are going to be coming. In between these two, what we felt was a balancing of feminine, masculine energy, and a huge heart chakra and crown chakra alignment. It's still going on. So if you've been hurting in your chest, having heart palpitation or upper back pains, that's what it is. That includes the throat as well, because we are pushed to speak our truth. And we all know that that comes with people that will not agree with us, that won't take what we say, and will basically think that we're crazy That's part of the journey. We have to accept that. We have to accept that they are on a different awareness level. So this balancing act of feminine masculine energy was to help integrate another layer or part of our higher selves in our soul. And for some, if you're really spiritual and into sacred geometry, it is the Merkaba cube. The Merkaba. There's another term for it, but if you look Merkaba, the shape, that's what I'm talking about, sacred geometry. So some of us have been awakened to that knowledge. If you meditate, most probably you've been seeing that shape, or you've been feeling that energy. We have that in our energy field, and it's to balance both sides of our divine selves, feminine, masculine. So divine feminine, divine masculine energy, to be in balance and to be whole. Again, that's the whole point of the spiritual path is to be whole, to not rely on outside sources for anything. Only use our own guidance system and trust ourselves that we are honoring our soul. This is being in service or in your mission. That's what it means when you're aligned with your soul. And there's different ways to do this. Many videos on YouTube are talking about higher selves, this and that. Choose the way that you resonate with. Any way is good as long as you follow that, and that soul is connected to the heart, not the mind. So if I talk about the divine masculine just a little bit for the twin flames, they're going through this as well, and it means different things for them. My best advice at this point, do not watch any readings. Readings are not always a good, I mean, you can feel good watching a reading, but most of the time what happens is that, oh, I heard this in the reading, so I can, take a break and just sit on it for a little bit, and it's going to happen because it was said in the reading. That's not how it works. We always have to work. We have to eat every day. We have to drink every day. Spiritual work is the same thing. We have to work every day, all the time, transforming those programs that we have inside of us that are limiting the way we live, the way we see life, the way we perceive things to be. By deprogramming these things, we allow our soul more space in our lives. That's the art of manifestation as well. Your higher self knows what's right and what you need. If you only listen to that voice, you may hear it as a voice, you may hear it as not hear it, but just feel it, just know. Some people are see it, hear it, feel it. I'm like that. Sometimes I'll feel it, I'll just know. I know I need to go there, go some specific place, and then I'll get my answer when I'm there. Life is a game, a big, big game, like a rally. And what we need to do is try to find all these clues. And that's the energies right now. That's what they are supporting us to do. And like I was talking to my friend in Texas, it feels like we're growing up. Our bodies are hurting and painful. That's the energies, the new energies. Our cells, our DNA is changing. And those scientists that I found, they are able to prove that. So spiritual ascension is a real thing. Spirituality is absolutely real. And our job as human beings is to be in harmony with that and in harmony with others. As long as we do that, nothing bad will happen to us. If bad things are happening, it can mean two things. Karma from this life or past lives, or you're not in harmony. You're not listening. So when things are clearing out, yes, it hurts. For the past 2 weeks, I've been feeling like I was grieving. But I was picking up from people around me, from my twin, from a lot of things around, a lot of things going on. Lee Harris did say that April was a month for grieving, and it's true, we're grieving. Grieving is part of the process to allow us to make space for new things to come in our lives, for us to be able to see things differently, in a lighter way, lighter perspective, with different glasses. So the whole point of being human is just to be in harmony, to not force our free will on other people. We cannot. That's actually a spiritual law. We cannot intervene with someone's free will. So that goes with for the twin flames. We cannot ask our twin, do this, do that. It's impossible. We can't. Anyway, our twin is us, right? So the only thing we can control or manage is our own free will. We can never, under no circumstances, push our free will or our perception on someone else, because they have their own, we have our own. The whole point is to meet halfway in harmony, to agree to disagree sometimes, to agree that it's not what we wanted, or to agree that we see things differently. That's fine. Learn from each other. That's a very important spiritual law, extremely important. So living in harmony, that's where we're going. That's what we're aiming for at this point. Aside from all the astrological events and the planets moving and bringing new things, but it's been intense lately, extremely intense. A lot of purging was going on, a lot of sadness. Again, past life stuff was coming up. We're not done. It's still gonna happen. What can change is how you deal with it. Now that you're awakened and that you know when it comes up, you should be able to clear it faster and to just know what to do. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes the only choice we have is just surrender. So the power of surrender is extremely, extremely important too. That's it. That's all I wanted to talk about. So I'm going to post the link of this neuroscientist that I found in the box below. His work is extremely interesting. His books, I read one, very good book. He has another, and I'm sure it's awesome. So in the meantime, if you would like to book a reading with me, you can do so on my Facebook page at Indigo Girls Readings, or using my email, indigogirl555@gmail.com. Thank you. Enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.